Hello, welcome to part 2. I am so glad that you are here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the second part of this painting. Now I have a part 1, so if you want to take a look for that, it will show you my still life setup and how I got to this point. So I'm going to work, and will I get it finished? I don't know. I am working in my Diane Reevely journal. It's the large journal that she has, and I'm using my Liquitex acrylic paints. I have a whole stash of them here beside me. So that's what I'm using. I've got brushes, acrylic brushes. I've got 2 jugs of water, and this is what I'm using for a palette. So where we left off was kind of like the blocking in of colors. So now I want to work on some details and some corrections. So the first thing that you don't see, at least I don't see when I'm sitting here, but when I was watching and editing, this, too dark. And then all of this. Although I like the texture, for this particular application, it looks too busy. I want to somehow tone this down. I'm not opposed to it being kind of a background color. This is just it's too busy. So that's the first thing I'm going to be working on. So this is what I'm using for a palette. The reason why I like these is that this is waxed, so the paint doesn't sink in. And then I can take a second one and I can mist it with a little water and do this if I need to step away and I don't want my paints to dry out. So that's why I'm using my paper plate. And what I'm doing this for is, this is a practice because I want to do it on a much larger substrate. But I just wanted to kind of get, like I said, a practice run. All right, so I'm going to be starting out with some titanium white. Can it get any more boring than that? And I'm going to put a good amount on my plate because I know there'll be other times in the process that I'll be using it. So what am I going to do with this? I just don't know. I'm going to get the burnt umber, which was one of the colors. And I'm going to put just a small amount, ever so small amount of burnt umber. And then I'm going to add a color that we've already been using, and that is magenta. And I don't want that magenta that's heading to violet. I want this one. So I'm going to add, again, ever so slightly, a touch of just that magenta. And now I'm going to give this a good amount of white. Now my brushes have dried, so I'm going to wet this brush because I just don't want the paint to sink straight in. I'm going to take a good amount of this white and I'm going to mix it in these 2. Okay, awfully pink, that magenta. Where did the umber go? It is awfully pink. All right. I'm adding a lot more white. As a matter of fact, I may move it over here. And I'm going to add a little more umber. Burnt umber. What's this? This is burnt sienna. Let's try that instead of the burnt umber. You know, pink and brown are kind of nice together. So, you know, when you try to get a little bit, sometimes it's just impossible. But it's okay. All right, let's mix some of this up. Okay. Kind of a mauve-y color. Let's give it a go. Yeah, let's give it a go. And I can tell you already I like it better. I really do. This was just too busy. I understand why I liked the texture, but this wasn't the right place for it. It really wasn't. Now, last time I worked almost on purpose to have the paint have all this lines in it, kind of like a grain, which is kind of what it ended up looking like some kind of a weird wood grain. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. So on goes this color. When you keep adding layer upon layer, it's just like when we're doing collage. It adds interest. It adds something. I'm not opposed to it. That doesn't concern me. It doesn't worry me. I'm not disappointed. None of that. You just go with it. And I just really don't mind when I need to do that. But it's not a technique or a style that I can use when I'm doing watercolor. This is one of the beauties of acrylics, and I enjoy acrylics. So, and that got a little out of control, but that's okay. And let's go over here. I'm liking this so much better. Let me know in the comments what you think of this change, because it matters to me. It really does. Do you like the new color? Do you like the light, that it's lighter? Do you think it's blending in too much with the colors I already have? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Constructive criticism, how you honestly feel, it does not hurt my feelings. So let me know. I am working and concentrating, and so I realize that my conversation is going away, and I'm sorry. But so far, I am liking this. Yes, I am. Okay, I just need to get in that tight spots. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the water. And I'm just gathering up some more of this kind of a mauve-y color. And I'm going to work on around the tablecloth here. Straighten this line out a little bit more. Now this Liquitex Professional is thick. It also, for some, dries fast, especially if you're used to oils that stay, we call open, movable, and all much, much longer than just a regular acrylic. You can buy products that you mix, and it doesn't alter the color, but it changes the viscosity, and so the paints don't dry anywhere near as fast. So you get that feeling of more like an oil. And you can kind of add as much or as little as you want, so you can control that time. But I like them just the way they are. You can also buy what they call open acrylics. And so just right out of the tube, it's a paint that it has the same water soluble. You still clean it up with water, same as any acrylic, but it is definitely stays wet longer. So or open, so that you can work the paint more and more like an oil, where this acrylic dries fairly fast. Now, when I say dry, I don't mean like cured. It dries on the surface. And I mean, it can really seem dry to you. It isn't. 24 hours, I like to think, before I really consider acrylic paint dry. And it still depends on what surface you're on, whose acrylic paint you're using. That's not an exact science either. But before I start dragging expensive things like alcohol markers or anything like that on top, it's got to sit for 24 hours, like I said, because you will gouge into the paint. You won't mean to, but you will, and then you'll be sad. I'm working in these tight little areas. And you know, if I mess it up, it's okay. I just have to go back with, in this case, the windowsill color. Okay. I'm telling you the truth. I like it better. I really do. Okay. That is working for me. Excellent. All right, let's rinse out both of these brushes. Big change, huh? Now, things I need to do. Pattern on the cup. Pattern, I think I want to put a pattern on this. And I was thinking of kind of a check pattern. What do you think about that? Because the pattern that's on it, if you kind of squint your eyes, it is kind of what it is. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's blocky. I guess that's what I would say. It's kind of in blocks. But I was thinking about kind of a check. Maybe more like a plaid. I don't know. I'm going to go with Magenta. And I'm going to keep it here. There. Okay, I put and this is that same magenta that I had used before. So this is the quinacridone magenta. And that's how much I put out there. But I put it near these two colors where I've already got some magenta going on. Because I'm not sure just really how much magenta-y I want it. I want it different than the grapes, that's for sure. But the walls are kind of reading a little bit pink to me, so I don't know that I want it to be too pink. I don't know. Let's just see. We've got this white. And if I just add some to this. Some more. I like it. You know I'm a color girl, though. I like color. And boy, this has been as neutral. But it needed to be. Because otherwise, this color wouldn't show. Okay. How am I going to do this? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to start. Can you tell I'm hesitant? I think I'm going to start with stripes and then maybe kind of turn it into a plaid. So my stripes are going to go straight up and down this way. It kind of looks like candy or like candy paper or something. But I'm okay. I like it. Now, these might get boring, but if you want to see the whole process, there's repetition. Okay, I can see that I'm getting, like, thicker as I go along. That one's far away. That's okay. I was trying to go thinner and instead I just got further away. What I'm going to do is my brush, I'm just going to flatten it out again and then pick up the paint at the tip. My paint got a little bit blobby when I did that. That's okay. It's good to me. Yep. Oh, brother. What have I done? Now I'm looking, okay. So this is going to go this way, like get shorter, because that's the way the fold is. Okay. And so now, okay, I'm just going to put, because these stripes, let's work on these. And this can be the joy or the demise when you're working with patterns, is now you've got to think about what direction they all go as they kind of work their way on different angles. But I got to learn it. If I don't get it right the first time, I'm not going to get upset about it. See, these are kind of coming at me, so they're not at quite the angle. So I'm continuing this on the same day that I started this. So I already told you what the weather's like, but it's sunnied up quite a bit. It seems like the rain is kind of slowing down a bit, which is great. Your angle on this whole thing may make this make more sense than what I've got going on here. Where what looks okay to me, you're seeing the reality, and these angles just might be a disaster. We'll just see what that does. Now, do I want to start going in another direction? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, these are a little too light. Some of it is that it's getting darker as the paint dries, and some of it is just that I've picked up more white than the magenta. But I'm just trying to kind of even them up a little bit with the bottom. Like that. Okay. Well, like I said, do I want to turn it into a checker pattern? Oh, what about here? Wake up, Julie. I don't want to make the same mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake, but to not have it really go all the way down. Okay. Okay. I'm happy with that. I don't think I want, well, I can't really tell. Am I afraid to turn it into kind of a check? Or do I like it the way it is? I'm just trying to judge my motivation here. Do I want to create a check? Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put the other lines in, because if I don't like them, I can always change it up. But let's build some more of this color, because I don't have as much as when I first started. And I'm going to have to probably add a little white. I'm trying to sort of bring it together again instead of having it spreading out so thin. Knock this off. All right, I'm going to add a touch of white. That's my nemesis, isn't it? Okay, that's not it. This is a white. Just going to add it right into the color. And there. And let's mix this up. All right. I think we've got a good amount here. I'm going to try to unload this brush a little bit. And let's see. Okay, ready or not. Oh, my brush. Sometimes you just have to wash it out. It's just so bogged up with paint. We start afresh. I've got it way up into the ferrule. That's from mixing. And what I could be doing, and I should be doing, is using like a palette knife or something to do all this mixing. But I've just been doing it with my brush. All right, let's see. I'm going to start right here. What do you think? Are you liking it? I like the patterns, you know, I like that we're adding pattern. That's the whole reason why I put those cloths there, was to encourage me to add pattern. Even though I'm not replicating the patterns that are there, it gives you the movement and all of a pattern. I also like the pink and gray against this white with green and orange. I just think that's fun. I don't mean to get so quiet, but I'm concentrating. I guess it just takes all my effort. And at least one more. Okay, now I'm going to put some kind of this way. And that might be like totally wrong. We'll see. So those of you who watched the first video, let me know what you're thinking of the changes. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You ruined it, you made it better. I liked it before, I don't like it now. I didn't like it before, I still don't like it. I mean, just let me know what you think, because I am interested. This is a lot of pattern. I'm picking up on that. Okay. Okay. Oh, I've still got over here. Oh, Julie. It's okay. This won't take as long. I hope. And do these lines even match up with those? I have no idea. I have no idea. I knew I needed a lot of pink though. Yep. So, what about social media? I have been adding some things to my Instagram account, which is old, but up until I would say the last 2 weeks, I kind of ignored it, but I'm learning it. I'm learning it, and I have been doing some posting there. I've also been paying attention to some postings from some of the YouTubers that I watch, and just to see, I'm amazed at the amount of added like videoing that is on there. And so far, you know, people have things that are different. They're not what I'm seeing in their YouTube videos. They're different. I'm just connecting some of these because there's bound to be a stripe on the edge somewhere, right? I just feel like it needs it. Okay. All right. There is our Yeah, okay. No, you know what? I don't dislike it. Again, I'm so close that I'm not sure I'm seeing it accurately. So we'll just have to see. Now, I want to put something on that mug. And I'm thinking not any more pink. Not any more magenta. I've got quite a blob of this magenta on my plate, and it's enough that I feel like I want to put it back in the tube. That is one of the things that is kind of the crime about tubes, but I got it in there. Yep. Was there a tiny bit of white? Yep. Am I going to notice it? I promise not. All right, let's clean this off. I feel better about that. Okay. Good. All right. So that mug, I'm kind of thinking about blue because other than this little sliver of water, we really don't have a blue going. And you don't have to have every color in the stratosphere, but sometimes a change is refreshing. Now this is the Cobalt Turquoise, and that's what I used with a lot of white for that water. And I don't really like it with that violet I have going. This is a Phthalo Cayenne blue, and it says it's a green shade, but I bet if I remember my colors, yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of like a royal blue. I like that. I'm just going to give it a dot. Just a small amount. And let's see what we can do with this mug. I'm going to use this dagger brush. I wish I knew where I got it. It must have come in something else that I bought, because I would have never selected this brush. Not that I don't like a dagger, it just wasn't on my mind, but the handle, it's a Royal Langnickel, Mini Majestic, no clue. No clue. I'm going to rim out this cup. And again, I'm not perfect. You know, we've got this kind of a primitive, loose, organic feel. And I don't want to lose that by overworking the details. But I still want some details. Okay, already I like that. Now, some kind of a design on this cup. Maybe just a stripe design. So what I'm going to try to do is stick with the curve that I already have going. I've got some water on the ferrule. So I'm going to just, as I say, try to keep the curve I already have going. Not making it too much more of a curve or too much less of a curve. And just get a stripe. And then maybe another stripe. I'm certainly not going to put a check pattern in here. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. You don't see me do that often with acrylics. It's not my way to be adding a lot of water. I mean, if you want a watercolor look, use watercolor. These are acrylics. Okay. Okay. I'm good with that. Now, would the handle have some blue on it? For some reason, I just feel like it would. Like maybe just sort of at the top. Again, I'm just adding a little bit of water. Like maybe there would be a design like this, and then just this one you wouldn't really see. Just like that. And maybe another one at the bottom of the handle. Down onto the cup a little bit, like that. Okay, I like that. Yep. All right, now, I still want to keep my spoon, and I still want to work in the window, and I still want to add that bowl. Okay, for the bowl, what I need is, let me rinse this out. I need kind of a silvery grayish color, but leaning towards blue. And I've got that blue already there. So, titanium white, small amount. I've got that blue, and I'm going to add just a ever so slight bit of ivory black. See those two dots? That's all that I'm going to add. I'm going to use a different brush for mixing than I'm going to use for painting. So I already got way too much blue. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just add a little more white and a little more black. Although the black I think is under there. Yeah, it needs a little more black and a little more white. So white, this white is thick. All right, and just a couple more dots of this ivory black. One big dot. And let's put this together and see what we get. It's still more blue than gray. All right, a little more black. I'm really surprised. Was I using ivory black before? Because I have two blacks here, and this black is just, I don't know, I'm not getting the punch that I was expecting, but no, it has to be it, because it's the only black. Well, for crying out loud, Julie, what's the matter with you? Oh, that's a lot. So let's see what we get. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So wring it out of this brush. Drop it in. And now I am going to give this just a touch of water. That was just like a few little sprinkles, because I want this to be able to move. It's a little water here. I'm just grabbing a tiny bit more water. And let's think about the bowl. And I'm looking at the bowl. Okay. Now the grapes are on top. So they're not affected by the bowl. It sounds so ominous. Boy, that line's getting thick. That's okay. Okay. It's turned into a round bowl and it's really a square bowl. Again, we just want it to be kind of loose and organic. Okay. I'm rounding this up just a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Okay, now we're going to need some kind of shine in this bowl. I'm just thickening this up a little bit right there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to water down this gray a little bit. It's a lot bit. I'll show you. And I'm just going to add, I'm looking at it to see like where is light kind of reflecting. Down here. And a little here. And then it's lighter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding some white when this layer is dry. Kind of mixed media style. Yep. Put this right behind those grapes. All right. Still doesn't look very glass bowly to me, but it will. We'll get it. Okay. Now, what else? Okay, the wrinkles in there, and that can be gray. So we're going to add some folds. I'm going to use a round brush. And it's okay that we're going a little bit thinner for some of these details. But you never want to mix your acrylic more than 25% water. So you have to have at least 3 parts of your paint, 1 part of water, or else you will just dilute it down too much and it could peel off. And I'm just adding some wrinkle folds. Like that. Maybe a little bit like a bigger fold. along the edge here and there. Maybe one in here. Okay. I like those. All right. I think I need some kind of an accent on those candle holders. So the candle holders were the Magenta and the Sienna. I've kind of got some Magenta here and some I think, yeah, this one's Sienna. I think that one was Umber. I'm going to add some of this pink to this. Dig into the Sienna a little more. All right, let's see. I think it's still kind of a reddish. And we're just going to add, this brush is too thick. It's got too much paint. I'm going to go back to that dagger. And just add a little bit of detail. If my head's in the way, I apologize. Like that. Yep. Same on this one. I think I'll add some here. Give this a little bit of a round. All right. And what I like is that I am putting the leaves back behind the candle holders. So I like that. And there. I'm going to give it some right here. This one probably wouldn't have it there because it's not in the window. But this one's in the window here. I'm liking this. I'm just bringing it down. Like that. And I'm going to round this out as well. Okay, I like what that did very much. Okay, now I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and I might be cutting this off, but I don't want to drag my arm through this because I think it's still wet. I want to add a darkness, and I'm just going to go right into this burnt sienna over here. But along the grass in here, and I just want to add, I don't know, kind of a dirt line. I don't know why. Gut feeling. But I just don't like so much white showing in here at the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit in here. Okay, I like that better. Yes, I do. Yep. Okay. So what are we thinking? This may be another good time to just stop. And when this is cured, so I won't be doing any more of this today. I think I'm going to be getting some white acrylic pen and sort of detailing out the grapes a little bit, the bowl a little bit. So in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I think that we made some changes on this painting that are good, and I'm not signing it because she's not done. But you'll just have to let me know what you think in the comments, and please leave a comment, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.